light slash metabolite push session number 1 of 3 of this high volume prep mesocycle. The second mesocycle of this prep since the last one was started about halfway through, so I ended up doing about 2 or 3 weeks of that during prep. Worked on low volumes and pretty low rep ranges, heavier weights. Now starting this high volume training mesocycle, training 6 days a week, hitting total of 160 sets for the whole body. That includes calves, abs, everything like that as well. Starting off with exercise number 1 of the first tri-set of the workout. Here we have barbell face pulls. So this takes the place of a traditional rope face pull. It's just a different variation that I really enjoy. Get very good contractions in the rear delts and slightly in the trap muscles. These are just one of the ways that I like to do them, but do them several different ways throughout the week as well. Hitting 20 to 30 reps on all 3 of these movements and for most of the exercise throughout the day. And then without even putting the bar down, I go right into upright rows. I've never had any pain with this movement, but if you don't go as high as I do. Just do what works for you. These work for me. No pain, like I said, but with a lot of people coming up this high, you know, about eye level for me is too high for a lot of people out there, so I would just kind of play around with it, play around with different hand positions, and see what feels good for you. Um, Next up, right into it, 20 to 30 reps again. We have pinky up dumbbell side raises. This really emphasizes the side and a little bit more of the rear delts. It tends to put the rear delt muscle on top a little bit more, whichever muscle is on top during this movement tends to be hit the most. And you notice with these, I don't actually come up even past parallel. I would like to see the elbows up to parallel. So yeah, I could come up a little bit higher on these, but that's why it's good to video yourself and kind of examine. Next up, we have dumbbell, leaning, one arm, side raises. The leaning position creates different leverages while kind of maximizing the isolation on the shoulders throughout the whole movement. Notice here I try not to lose tension at the bottom, so I stop just before that happens. So kind of right at that position before it even comes down, till your arm is straight down, and then it just kind of keeps the tension on the movement, or on the shoulders the whole time. And this one we have a palms down position since we just kind of hit the pinky up before this. Not supersetting this movement with anything, just back to back to back, and only taking about a 30-second rest in between both. Once I complete both sides, take about a 30-second rest and move into the next movement, the next side. Yeah, these feel very good. You notice I did 16 reps and then took a little bit of a breather on the first side. So therefore I tried to do that again on the second side, the right side. And I'm right-handed, so I always start off with my least dominant side, the left side, and that would be with any unilateral or single limb movements, single-sided. So the first chest movement of the day. On this day, since it's a light day, I like to start off with just a body weight movement for the first movement while I'm most fresh. I'm still pretty heavy right now, so pretty fat, so I go ahead and start off with these, and I'm still only getting 13 reps, which is a little bit lower than I would like, but since it's body weight, I don't think it's going to be as systemically fatiguing or as hard on the joints as it would be, going 13 or less reps with like a barbell or something like that, because I have my heavy days, during another session of the week. So, yep, just 13 reps, 4 sets there. Next up, these are not done in superset fashion. They're just, repetition, take a one to, about a minute rest, and then move on. We have incline dumbbell chest press. So, I really tried to exaggerate my arch and get a nice deep stretch, full range of motion, which you can probably tell I basically always do full range of motion. I think that just keeps you the safest possible while stimulating the muscles as much as possible without having to, super exaggerate the weight. 'Cause I mean, I'm only doing 45-pound dumbbells here, which I am going for 20 reps. I did 4 sets total, 2 sets with the 45s, and I noticed I was getting a little bit too close to, like I think the second set of 45 I was down to about 2 reps in reserve, so trying to hit 3 to 4 since it's the first week of this training mesocycle. So I went ahead and took an ego check, but dropped down to 40-pound dumbbells and hit 2 more sets at about 4 to 3 reps in reserve there. Next up, chest fly on the pec deck. The reason I like to do pec deck flies at the end of the training session first, rather than doing them at the start. It's kind of just the exaggerated range of motion that I take here. I like to be fully warmed up and just really like to finish the chest off with these rather than having a pressing movement where you can take your arms and triceps, mostly triceps and shoulders, to kind of help you finish off. This really just finishes off the chest and keeps everything nice and safe since you're already nice and pumped, nice and warmed up, kind of with this exaggerated stretch here. And I ouch the back. I put a pad behind my lower back. That just keeps my back super ouched. Like I kind of like to exaggerate on a lot of chest movements, keep the chest nice and high. But I put a pad under my low back and really emphasize keeping those kind of like the shoulders and the traps up against the pad the whole time. And these 2 movements are done in a superset fashion. So we have a triset and then 2 movements back to back, kind of not supersetted, and then finish off with a superset here. So this is the only tricep movement of this particular training session. So what I do as a myo rep set, so here we're going for anywhere from 10 to 15 is kind of the rep range I give myself. And then I will take a 5-second rest after that and go ahead and go into another 4 reps. And then after that, if I feel like it, I do another 5 seconds. Otherwise, I can give myself up to 10 seconds to go ahead and make sure that I can hit that 4 reps again the 3rd time. So here I believe I went for 12, 4, and 4, and I did 4 sets there. So it really equates to more than 4 sets just because it's like almost doing 3 mini sets within 1 set each. And that is the last movement of this training session, 1 of 3 for the week.